What's up everyone, Jonathan here for a video of cleaning this Ford key fob and key. So I recently got this from eBay today as an arrival, and it is pretty hard to tell on camera, but without the camera it does look and feel pretty filthy. And I did start cleaning it, and you can tell from the dirt there that it was from the key and the remote, so I can tell that this remote is definitely, and the key is definitely going to need some cleaning, which nothing can beat without some simple green, and maybe throw in some, maybe just a little bit of purple alcohol to clean and sanitize this key and remote, because who knows like what this key was from. Has been touching. It was from a Ford Explorer, by the way, and I got this for a pretty good price because I am a key collector, basically my childhood job. Alright, now with the motherboard and the battery out of the way, and can definitely tell that was from my cleaning, the simple green that got in there, but it's alright. And when I did got this, I will put a picture to where this was actually from this rubber piece right here was from Ford F-150 key fob, which the buttons doesn't even line up with the rubber, but the one that came with this remote, the lock and the unlock was fading, and the panic button was like completely filthy. It doesn't look like it's gonna get cleaned off. So other than that, I was like, yeah, just screw it, and then hope for the best for this one, but not so much. So I might try to get the other one cleaned up eventually. So without further ado, let's get to cleaning this disgusting filth from the lock and unlock button. Alright, and you can see it a little better, the filth right there. So a little bit of cleaner right here and there. Gonna require just a little bit of scrubbing just to get all that filth off, because it looks like this key fob must have been dropped into dirt or something. But then again, at least doing it, it's ensuring the life of this boring stock shell. And eventually I'm gonna upgrade the boring stock shell and maybe get an American flag American shell to make it look cool, but that'll be next video. So anyways, other than that, just continue on getting into cleaning and get all the crevices real quick. Yeah, I'm trying to get the darn camera to focus. Anyways, now on to cleaning the key, and it's starting to look a little better. And yes, I know I could take the key fob off of the key and then just clean the whole thing, but it's just worth to keep it all together, so once it's all finished, then it's all set and complete. And with just a few more scrubs, and can tell it's hard to see because the flashlight's on, but you could definitely see it's a little bit brown. That was from this key, so that simple green is doing pretty good wonders, and it's pretty good to have as a household cleaner, and also to get as much dirt off as possible off this key and the key fob. Alright, and with the used toothbrush, go ahead and get in the little part there to where the key ring goes, right there, and just a few more right there. It doesn't have to get perfect, just as much to make the key look cleaner and stuff. Anyways, and also the bristles of the used toothbrush is getting that dirt off as much, and it's starting to look a little better and improving. And also maybe with some simple green and some elbow grease for the crevice is here on the key fob shell. Oh yeah, it's starting to look a lot better with that simple green on the toothbrush, on the remote, I mean. Giving this a really good thorough clean. And with just a few more scrubs, and then this will look good as new. Yeah, it was just a few minutes later of cleaning. That is much dirt that I got off this Ford key, so overall it doesn't look that bad and all. But please let me know in the comments below if you all remember this old boring Ford stock key fobs remotes, which I know that these aren't boring, but I do know that there is other customizations that you can basically go like on Amazon, like I said, the American flag. That's what I'm gonna be aiming for in the next video to put, just make this key fob look cooler. But for collecting just keys and all, I wouldn't even care at all for me getting like just as this boring stock and all. But overall, I remember these type of key fobs growing up because when my family used to own like a Ford F-150, that was definitely this good old key right here and the remote right here. Good times. And I still actually have the key from the family's Ford F-150 that I'm using as a Christmas tree decoration, which is pretty cool. Sparkle, sparkle. Other than a little bit of dirt right there, which I can go get the old toothbrush to get just. It doesn't have to be perfect and all, like I said, because it's just a part of my collection anyways, but the good old information right there for when you're buying like a new key fob remote. For back then where we had like this normal key and the remote right here. Good old times. Alright, fun part now is to reassemble the key fob, which, there we go, the battery right there. And now for this piece right here, to where the motherboard is. Yes, it will fit in, but the problem is I had to push down like real hard so the buttons can make contact with the buttons on the motherboard. But like I said, it's an incorrect one, which I will be trying to clean the other one just to see how well it can work it out, which it'll be in the next video for when I do that. When I get the American flag key fob shell. Bam. There we go. The good Ford Explorer key remote. And the good old times with the information on the back of the remote for when you need to go buy a new remote for your Ford vehicle. And yeah, I can see that there's some like the rust or some sort right there, which for an old key like this, I'm just basically using it as my collection and stuff and other stuff. But anyways, thank you guys for watching.